So in last class, we discussed about two kind of components like functional components and class components, right? So let me try to open Visual Studio Code. I want to open the project. What is the project I created last class? I created something like I think demo app. Yeah, let me open demo app here. Open folder. Okay, so I'm trying to open demo app over there. Opening the project. Let me try to launch the application. Okay, so what is available in app.js? You can try and see. Okay, inside the app.js, what is happening? Something like headings and list items we have. Just run the program, open the terminal, open the new terminal, start the project, run the server, run the node server, npm start. When I say npm start, server is getting ready. That's fine. So this is the last class what we discussed. But now today we will discuss about functional components, right? See, can you see and observe? So let me try to create a new component. I just want to go with the header component, header.js. See, every component is, it may be a functional component, it may be a class component, that should be a JSS or JS file. So even functional component or class component, whenever you're creating a component as a new file, it may start with a capital letter or it have to start with the capital letter. Go with the capital letter, start with. So I just want to create my file name as header, my component name as header. So what I want to do is a header.js. Okay, so let me go with the paint, I will explain it. Okay, so this is a header.js. Okay, fine. I got this is created as a folder. Okay. So for example, this is my React web page or React page. Inside the React page, I want to create a header. I want to create a header. So this is my header component. And I want to create a footer. This is my footer component. And I just want to create something like a sidebar. This is the sidebar component. And this is the main component. Whatever the major thing that was the main component. This is the main component. Somewhere you will be having the main component. So this web page is dividing into 4 sections. The first one is header. The first one is header. This is the header component. And this is the sidebar component. And this is the main. Sidebar should be like, go with the capital letter, right? And this one is the main one, main. And this could be footer. So this is footer. So I have nearby 4 components here. But every component, it may be a functional or it may be a class. Maybe a functional, it may be a class. But every component is a JSX file. So we know that. So this is a JSX file. And even this is a JSX file. And even this one is a JSX file. And footer also have a JSX file. It may be a functional or it may be a class. Maybe it is functional, maybe it is a class. You can create 2 kind of components. Mostly nowadays recent applications, mostly people are using a functional. This is the famous one. But you may go with a functional or class. Everything is a function. It is a file, and this one is something header.js, and here this one is sidebar.js, and here this one is main.js, and here it is footer.js. Okay, so now what my requirement is, inside the SRC, I want to create a new file, something like a header.js. Okay, so for this header.js, what my requirement is, I want to write a function. So yeah, this is the functional component, right? So first of all, if you want to write a CSS, you can go with the CSS. I want to create a function. Let me write a function. Function header. Okay, so this is the functional component. This could be written something like header. I want to give h1 header component. Okay, so this will be h1. H1 is my content. This function is going to be written something. And finally, I want to export default. I just want to export the header component. Okay, so here this is React. Import React from React. Import React from React. If you want to import a CSS file, import CSS also. I want to import app.css also. If you want to write some CSS, you can import CSS also. Now this is the header component and this is the functional component. What my requirement is, I want to show this particular functional component on top of the screen. Now go to app.js and try to import header. Import header from header. See, whatever the component you created, I want to import into the app.js. Why? Because of app.js, it's a book level component. For the book level component, I want to. So from the diagram, you can understand. From the diagram, you can understand this is app.js. The root level component is app.js. The root level component is app.js. On top of the app.js, what my requirement is, I am actually placing. Okay, let me try to give a simple structure like this. So this is something like app.js, app.js. On top of the app.js, what my requirement is some header, some sidebar, some main, and some footer. Okay. So on top of the app.js, I want to have the header. I want to have the sidebar, and I want to have the main. I want to have footer. See, everything is on top of app.js. I want to include header file, header.js, and like sidebar.js, main.js, footer.js inside the app.js. Okay, it may have a multiple other components inside the main. In further explorer, I want to have multiple other components in the main. Further explorer, I may have multiple other components inside the header. In further explorer, I may have some other different components in the sidebar. So that is later. This later. As of now, on top of the app.js, I may have header, sidebar, and main. Right. So I created just now. I created header. What my requirement is, I'm trying to creating the header.js and I'm trying to exporting here. Why export here? Export is if you want to use this component in multiple other components, first of all, we should export it and come to app.js. In app.js, we need to import it. Without import, I cannot able to utilize inside this. So inside this app.js, I want to go and stop this. Stop. Okay. Stop it. I will keep on keep switch off everything. Keep switch off everything. I don't want to use this one. And finally, inside the division, I want to use header. You can write like this or you can write like this also. This is also a problem. right? Component uses, header component uses, and now you can see the put here, refresh it. So it may give the error. So there is a problem. You can see that. Go to the inspector, go to the console. We can see the problem. And what element type is involved. The issue we got, maybe we have issues came. What element type is a element type is invalid. Expected a string for built-in components or class of function. Actually, for export your component files to find might have fixed. Maybe something like not saved. Now you can see I got a header component two times. Some CSS is applying for certain, I want to change it. Some CSS is applying for that. Okay, let me switch off the CSS. Send down. Now you can see I have some CSS. I need to change this. Save every file first of all. Okay, I'm trying to go utilizing the header for two times. Now this is the header and I'm using two times. This is the way of usage of header. So this is okay. Self close tag is okay. Otherwise, you can write like open tag and close tag. Both are actually good. Both are okay. That is not an issue. But for this header, what my requirement is, header. Header. We have the header. What is sexual? Right. Style. Whatever the style you want to write it. Background color something like light blue, and font style something like italic. Okay. So now you can see your header component. The header component is very clear. That was there on top of the main thing. And I don't want to use multiple tabs for this header. Now I want to place a image tag. So for example, if you want to place a sidebar or if you want to place an image tag, create one more functional component like img image. Okay, so inside the src, I want to create a new file image.js. So here this one is image, export image again. And here in the return, I want to place img src. So for this img src, I want to take some image. Let me take some image. Images, baby. Let me take some image. Okay? Take some image. Right click on this, copy image address and paste inside the src. Now, what my requirement is after the header, I want to place the image. Okay, first of all, if you want to place the image, first of all, we need to export the image. Yes, image is exporting. Now I want to import the image also. Import image from image. Let me utilize it. Let me utilize it. So I'm trying to using the image for multiple times. After the header, I'm trying to using the image for the images are basically coming side by side, right? Now you can see for the header component, your image is going to be available. Your image component also basically. So in this way, you can create React application. Yes. For the image, I want to img. Let me give the margin outsides. Margin outsides 10 pixel and border. Sorry, border should be available at CSS. Border 2px solid blue and border radius 5 pixel and padding a 5 pixel. So let me go. This is image, but image is going to be having some space between the image and image. At the same time, we'll be having some border between margin. Open space, margin is open space. But we are giving some padding also. Right? We are giving some border radius also. The radius is curved. So in this way, you can create multiple functional components. Functional components like header and image, and I'm trying to import it, placing on top of the app. So by diagram, you can able to understand this is the app. Top of the app, I'm placing the header file and image file. Later, we try to explore this sidebar and main and also using the functional components, even in the class components. Just try to do practice this.